The Punisher. How does he keep coming back? Frank Castle really is an unrelenting character by nature, both in terms of his competency in combat, as well as the real-life habit to come back from the brink every time it looked like his franchise was doomed, whether it be films, TV show, comics, or brand reputation. Hey everyone, I'm Bradley and welcome to Zlangle. This new teaser is what made me ponder this, and be impressed at the Punisher's lasting legacy in media. A violent anti-hero from the pages of Marvel Comics, film sequels cancelled over and over again, now owned by Disney. It is so wild to think how we are about to witness the release of a Punisher Disney Plus special. The ironic juxtaposition of the R-rated nature of Punisher and the Disney brand aside, the fact that not only have we seen many versions of the Punisher over the decades, and every time he pops up it seems it won't be the last and gets cancelled, but he always finds a way of continuing on. We've had 3 separate films that never got a sequel, and made it seem like the Punisher no longer had a future in Hollywood. Punisher from 1989, The Punisher in 2004, and 2008's Punisher Warzone. But he kept getting rebooted in spite of his lack of a real success, and fans stayed hopeful for more each time. There was even a great 2012 fan film starring Thomas Jane, the Punisher from 2004, reprising his role unofficially, finding a way to do something new with the character. And once again making fans think that there was a shot at an imminent return for Frank Castle. The only time it looked like the Punisher franchise was having its time to shine was after having appeared in Daredevil Season 2. He got his own spin-off TV show, and even got a second season. Finally. But, of course, what happened? More studio politics got in the way, and Netflix systematically cancelled each and every one of their Marvel television series. Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Defenders, all taken before their time. Well, Iron Fist overstayed its welcome, but that's for another video. So a Frank Castle live-action adaptation got cut short once again, and with Disney getting the rights to the character back, it seemed unlikely that Disney would do anything with him. Whether it be Jon Bernthal reprising, or another reboot of him for the MCU, an R-rated character like Punisher just wasn't in the cards. Even though PG versions of him aren't completely unheard of.
We're nothing but white blood cells, hunting the infection called crime, a sickness that sneaks in through the cracks, the way that Brussels sprouts sneak onto a plate of delicious macaroni and cheese. Just push the Brussels sprouts to one side, right? Rawr! I'm out here to keep those stinking sprouts off the mac and cheese. Keep them from leaving the store in the first place.
And fun fact number 1974, Ray Stevenson from 2008's Punisher Warzone actually reprises his role in this animated show. It's kind of awesome that both Thomas Jane and Ray Stevenson, and of course now Jon Bernthal, actually got chances to return to Frank Castle, albeit in very different ways than they probably expected. I mean, who would have thought the Punisher, a hardcore Punisher no less, not a watered down for PG-13 incarnation, would be appearing as a supporting character in a Spider-Man movie? Yes, he comes from Spider-Man comics, but to think he would actually cross over with such a big cinematic icon, whom is typically family-friendly, semi-owned by another studio, and to be played by arguably the most successful and beloved, but definitely the longest running actors of both characters, Tom Holland and Jon Bernthal, who also have a real-world friendship and history together. I love the timeline we're living in sometimes. Never in a million years would I have dared to hope for such things 10 or more years ago. Hell, the closest we've gotten to a cinematic Punisher Spider-Man crossover was that urban legend of Thomas Jane's supposed stunt double cameoing in Spider-Man 2. It's a huge reach, and as far as I can tell, just not true. There's a cool video that investigates it, I'll link it in the description. Anyway, although I always consider the Netflix Marvel shows to be MCU canon, as they were theoretically intended, Marvel Studios tried not to acknowledge the Hell's Kitchen corner of the Marvel Universe. So it was quite the pleasant surprise when both Kingpin and Daredevil re-emerged in Hawkeye and Spider-Man No Way Home respectively, and suddenly, Frank's return was possible, but still not likely as it seemed Disney wouldn't feature Marvel characters in R-rated projects. Deadpool and Wolverine though, that helped open Disney's mind a bit. And then came Daredevil Born Again, the semi-relaunch of the original series that, through a lot of behind-the-scenes production and creative direction issues, ended up fully canonizing the Netflix Marvel shows and their corner of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Which meant Punisher was back at it again, and this time, the character's return was a continuation instead of a reboot. If only Dolph Lundgren, Thomas Jane, and Ray Stevenson had gotten lucky enough for the opportunity at some point in the past. But Jon Bernthal completely deserves this. He nails so many aspects of Frank, and as the already longest-running Punisher actor, he's pushing that record even further this year. So yes, despite Frank Castle's troubled and always short-lived cinematic past, I'm very excited for the character's future. Along with the upcoming Spider-Man appearance, he also has the Not for the Faint of Heart Disney Plus TV special, which Bernthal is co-writing himself, Punisher: One Last Kill. However, I feel like it won't really be his last. Welcome back, Frank. Thanks for watching this little trip down Punisher memory lane. I'm curious, what is your favorite Punisher? What's your least favorite? I'd love to hear it. I'm really curious about your guys' opinions. Tell me in the comments, and until next time, upward and onward to greater glory.